Hello everyone, it's Diana Marchand from Raw Foods Made Simple. And I got a few things out here today. So what I'm going to talk to you about is how to prepare, how to be ready, what to have and everything so that you can continually eat healthy, whether it's all raw foods or whether it's more raw foods into your diet or whatever. So always a really good idea is to have vegetables prepped. Or salads or stir fries or whatever. I don't have much left, but here's a bowl, and what in here I had I actually had some bok choy, and I had some broccoli, and I had some shredded carrots and cabbage and everything in here, and it was full, and then I could use it when I was making a salad or when I was grabbing, to saute veggies or something. So most veggies will last, unless cucumber's not a very good thing to add, bell pepper, tomatoes. I like to add those after and kind of fresh because they don't seem to last too long. But you can put cabbages in here and broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, some greens like kale, collards, bok choy and stuff. They will last a few days in there. And that is excellent to grab. So always have a bowl of veggies prepped in your fridge. This is actually my salad mix. So this one is cut up and actually has a few cucumbers in here. So it'll last a few days in the fridge, but 2-3 days at the most. And it also has some herbs. Like I love using fresh dill, parsley, cilantro. Cilantro's not the best one for lasting, but parsley lasts pretty good, the curly parsley. So I like to have some veggies for salad. I just happen to have both of these bowls in there, and I've used quite a lot. Makes it so easy to stay healthy eating because you just grab a bit and it's already done. It's worth the effort. If you're going to do a little bit, you might as well do quite a lot, right? And then another thing is mason jars. Now this is a carrot juice I made this morning. So usually when I make juice, I make a bigger batch so that I can have, about 2 jars or more jars done. And then I have one right away, and then I keep the rest. And it's great for an afternoon when you're thirsty and maybe you're a little hungry or so. Anyways, I try to get 2 juices in a day in a smoothie for sure. Now you can also do this with your smoothies and make an extra jar full of smoothies to have later on for a snack. And it's really good to have before dinner so you don't have a huge dinner if you want to cut back on your dinner. Have a bigger lunch, have less dinner. So that is great. Mason jars, always have your smoothies or juices enough to have a few a day. Just means making a bigger batch in the morning. Still doing something once, you just do more of it. Just like when you're prepping your veggies, right? Things to make things easier and simpler. This is my little lemon squeeze. That's actually for limes and it squeezes. I use little organic lemons so it fits. And then the lemon juice sits in here, and then you always have fresh lemon juice. Another thing is you could squeeze a lot of lemons and put them in like a jar, another little tiny mason jar, and store that in your fridge for about 4 days, right? So you don't have to squeeze it every time you want to add it to smoothie juice or have it with your warm water in the morning. Of course, you have one of these hand juicers too for lemons or limes. And then a peeler. So this little guy, as you see, has ridges in it. And you can take a carrot or a beet or any root vegetable and you peel it, and it comes off in thin little strips. Like you see a mandolin can do the same thing, but this is a heck of a lot cheaper. And it's really easy to use. So you can make your veggies. You can just do root vegetables, nice thin little strips, even for cucumbers. It's great. Or zucchini. It's fantastic for making little noodles, right? Very fast. Okay, my food processor. So of course, food processors are a must with raw foods. Then I also have this attachment. So I can shred carrots and any vegetable, beets or whatever, really super fast with my food processor. And then I have a bowl of them in the fridge. So it makes things so much faster. It also has a blade on it to slice thin, so I can thinly slice carrots, thinly slice cucumber or anything. And that's done in a few minutes. And these food processors are actually really easy and fast to clean. So it's not a huge cleanup after. This one's a Hamilton Beach, and it's worked really well for me. That's that. And then recently I have got a NutriBullet, which I love, love, love. These NutriBullets. Heavy though, they're heavy duty. They come with 2 different types of blades. They're much quieter than a big noisy blender. One's for grinding nuts and seeds and stuff, and another one is for making the smoothies and stuff, and they have different sizes of containers. And this one is great for little raw sauces or salad dressings. Perfect size. And I am so glad I brought this, and I'm going to take it traveling with me because I love to have smoothies when I'm traveling. It's a little heavy for the suitcase, but it'll work. Coffee grinder, if you don't want to use one of those, you need something to grind flax seeds and little seeds, sesame seeds and stuff. Coffee grinders work great. I use that for a long time. And of course, I have my blender. I happen to have a Blendtec. There's also something now called an Omni blender that is about $275 because this was $500 and some dollars. About the same as a Vitamix. They're very expensive. Very good, but they're very expensive. This is my Blendtec. I would actually recommend Vitamix or an Omni because they have the plungers. That when you have something really thick in them, you could plunge and move it around, because you can't with this, and thick things don't work too well in this, let me tell you. So I don't mind this one, the Blendtec. It's great, but it's not the best for making thick cheesecakes or things like that, right? And then I have my juicer. And this is an Omega. It was actually quite expensive juicer, but I don't like the way it juices greens or celery, because it just gets all bunged up and caught in here. So it's great for carrots, apples, beets, things like that are more root vegetables, and softers, you know, cucumbers, zucchini, I'm sure it'd be fine. But not my favorite for greens or for celery. It gets jammed up. Omega juicer, like I said, it was an expensive and it's super heavy thing, but you know what? I use my blender now. I use my blender and I use my nut bag to make juices. You've probably seen me do videos on this before. This is stayed. So that's what I do to make my juices. So these are a few little suggestions I have for prepping and preparing your foods. Like I said, food processor is great for when you want to prep a whole bunch of veggies at once. Very fast and worth it. If you do this, and you can eat a ton of veggies that are already prepped. Also a salad spinner to do your kale and your lettuce or anything like that. You can wash them, you can put them in a salad spinner, spin it, and you can either store it in a paper bag with some paper towels, or keep it in that lettuce spinner and keep it in the fridge. That way it's washed and ready to go. Kale will last a long time when it's washed and ready. Parsley does too. Curly parsley, you could spin curly parsley, a whole head of it, and use it in your salads and in your juices and your smoothies too, and it'll last a long time. That is what it takes to eat healthy all the time. It takes basically a little bit of prep, but you need to think in prepping a little bit bigger. If you're going to make one little itty salad, you might as well make a bigger one, right? You don't have to add the fresh lettuce in it right away. You can add that right before you eat it. It's so fast to rip up lettuce, but it does take a while to cut up all the veggies. So if those are already done for you, it makes it so much easier during the day, or for supper, or when you bring it for your lunch. So that is my suggestion for you today. That's my little tips on eating healthy all week long. I hope you enjoyed the video and give it a try. Start prepping.